Hello everyone and welcome to English Language Academy. Today we are going to be talking about travel. Everyone wants to travel. Everyone wants to go to another country and to see new sights, and a lot of countries speak English. So we're going to cover vocabulary and sentence structures that you can use immediately when you go for travel. So some of these may be a little basic, but I can elaborate more for you to make it a bigger, longer sentences if you need. So let's take a look. Yeah, here's our vocabulary that we've got. It's a fairly long list, so we're just going to go through them together. So here's some phrases that I think are very helpful for people who are traveling. Yeah, when will I get there? This is something you want to know. What time are you going to arrive? When will I get there? These phrases are very up to date. They're very current. Because I've noticed that a lot of people tend to use phrases that are a little bit older, if that makes sense. It's not that I don't understand them, it's just it's hard for me to understand what they're asking for. So when will I get there? You're asking for a specific time. You want to know exactly. What time does the plane leave? This is very important for a lot of travelers. And you can take out plane to say train or bus. Yeah, what time does the plane leave? What time does the train leave? How long is the flight? You can also ask that if you maybe forget or you're curious. If somebody asks, oh, what are you doing? You say, I am on vacation. I've had a lot of students who have asked me, what do I say when people are like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? You just say, I am on vacation, right? American English, we use vacation. British English, they usually say holiday. So if you go to America and say, oh, I'm on holiday, you may find that some people don't understand, like, holiday? What do you mean holiday? Like, it's not a national holiday, because in America it kind of means something a little different. So we use the word vacation. I am going sightseeing. Yeah, you want to see the sights. You want to see what the area is famous for. So just some things like that, and we'll go over these a little bit more in this video. So let's talk about tourists. I am a tourist. So if someone asks you, where are you from? How do you respond? I am from. And the reason why I stress this is because a lot of students forget to say, I am from, and they just say, bleh. Like, but they don't say I am from, they just blurt out where they're from, and sometimes a lot of native speakers don't really understand. Like, what do you mean, this country? Are you from this? So there's nothing wrong with that, but this is to help you become better understood. Yeah, you are a tourist. You are touring around the area. So let's talk about baggage, luggage, and suitcase. Commonly in America, we use the word suitcase, but there are a couple of different variants. Some people call it baggage, some people call it luggage. So just being aware of the different names can help you better find your bags when you get to your destination. For example, if they lose your luggage, which has happened to me a lot, you can tell them, whoop, my baggage is gray, or you can say, that is my suitcase. So these are just helpful phrases for you to become clear and to get your point across, because when you lose your baggage, it's very stressful. So you want to be certain that they understand you, what you're looking for, if it's lost. Yeah, I have lost my baggage. So that can happen, unfortunately. Okay, so let's talk about your flight. Commonly, it's a flight. So my flight leaves at 6 p.m. And you have to always pay careful attention to AM and PM, because in the States, we don't use military time. Hardly ever. At least I have never used it until I moved abroad. So AM is morning. It's very important. Yeah, AM is morning. The way I remember it, and this could be helpful, is I use it to say at morning. Yeah, at morning. AM. At morning. That's how I remember it, because growing up, it was a little hard for me to remember too. AM, PM, I would get them mixed up. But when you're traveling, it's important to always look at the time, and if you don't understand what time, it's always better to ask. So PM, I usually say like per midnight, so we know that it's nighttime. All around, yeah, afternoon. Yeah, so your flight, okay. Passport, very important. I think everyone knows this, but if you don't, you can say things like, here is my passport, or I'm getting my passport. If you're looking in your bag, you can say, I'm getting my passport. So very important travel documents that you need. I'm sure everybody knows this, but just in case, you never know. This is called a backpack. And the reason why I'm focusing on this word, goodness, it's a bit big, excuse me, backpack, is because British English, they call it like a rucksack. And we don't call it these, never. We always say it's a backpack. So if somebody asks, where's your luggage? You can tell them, all I have is a backpack, like only a backpack, nothing else. And people will understand that it's a bag that you have with you and that you have nothing else. Okay. Sightseeing, what does it mean? You're going to see the sights. Maybe on a tour bus that will take you around the city, or you're just going by yourself to go and look at something like a statue, a monument, a museum. Yeah, you're going to see the sights of the city, what they have to offer. So there's sightseeing. Okay, so let's talk about this in general. So we have two things in American English. We can say a hotel or a motel. You may be asking, what's the difference? Well, a hotel is usually much bigger and it has better facilities, meaning it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot more well taken care of. And it's usually really, really big. It's not quite small. Motels are usually on the smaller side. Occasionally, they'll be cheaper than a hotel, but it really depends on the area that you're visiting. Some motels usually are not very nice. But again, it depends on the area you're visiting. So they're much smaller, they're not as well taken care of, and they don't have a whole lot to offer. It's usually just for people who are traveling on the highway and they need to stop for the night for, a quick rest before they start to drive again. So it's just a slight difference, but it's important if you have a preference. So if you really want the hotel, I recommend hotel every time. And then there is a hostel. So I am staying at the hostel here. These, I don't think these are very popular in America. At least I've never heard of them in America before. I came abroad is when I heard about them for the first time. But if you don't know, a hostel is basically a shared accommodation. So you don't have your own room. You share this room with strangers. So it's more affordable. It's very cheap, as I know. But if you're not very comfortable with it, I recommend maybe saving up for a motel or a hotel. Again, I don't remember these being very popular in America, but that could have changed. So It's important to keep your options open of what you want. So we can say a couple of things, right? We can say I'm on a vacation, I'm on a trip, I'm taking a trip is a very common word in America. Usually people will say, oh, where are you going? You can say, I'm taking a trip to Florida. And we understand, like you're going on vacation, you're going for relaxation, things like that. So we can say vacation or trip. These are very common American words. So, just for your knowledge. Check-in. So, it's always important to check into your flight 2 hours early. And I think a lot of people know that. But, just in case, if you're looking for the check-in counter, right? If you want to know how it's spelled before you go abroad, this is the spelling for you. So, check-in. Check into your flight 2 hours early. Arrival means that you have arrived to your destination. And I've put these up here so that you know what the spelling is for these. Because a lot of times I find that travel books, while helpful, they leave out common vocabulary that you see everywhere. So I don't want you to be confused when you go for your trip. We have departure, leaving. So arrivals, departures, things like that. So this is for you to see how it's spelled, what the sign looks like. I got it as close as I could so you don't get too confused with it. Takeoff, we can say the plane takeoff was good, which we always hope it's good when we take off from the ground. So we can say land and landing. The plane will land at 12 p.m. We will be landing soon, right? When you get to America, a lot of times on flights, they will usually only have one other language that they speak, which will probably be Spanish. So if you don't speak Spanish, it could be difficult to understand what time you'll be getting there. So the plane will land at 12 p.m. We will be landing soon. So you should get ready to descend very soon. Okay, so here is some useful phrases I think are very helpful. When will I get there? How long until boarding? I think this is very important because if you want to know when they start taking people onto the plane, taking passengers into the plane, you can ask how long until boarding, and they'll be able to tell you, 15, 20 minutes, an hour, something like this, so that you can plan, okay, then I can go and eat, I can go relax for a few minutes, because let's face it, traveling is very stressful, and you want to be sure that you understand when you're leaving. Another important one is, where is my luggage? Where is my suitcase? Where is my backpack? So if you've lost it and you don't know where it is, you can use this vocabulary. Where is the exit? Sometimes airports are not very clearly marked, and I've seen some people struggling trying to figure out where to go. So always ask. It's always better to ask. You can say, where is the exit? How do I leave? How do I get out? Things like that. Okay, so this is what we talked about at the beginning, right? More phrases. I am on vacation. We can say, I am visiting my family. I am going sightseeing. And depending on your vocabulary, you can elaborate. Like, my daughter lives here and I'm going to visit her and my grandchildren and things like that. So these are basics for you to help you build on them so that when you go traveling, you can communicate more effectively and more efficiently. All right, terrific job, everybody. It could have been hard, it could have been too easy for you, but I hope maybe it's kind of a refresher, because when we're learning a language, we tend to forget things like I am, or, small vocabulary words that have to go into the sentence that make it incomplete. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you are up to date on all of our new videos coming out. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.